We wrap up our fall AD podcast today, talking all things Princeton Vikings. We're catching up with Joe Roberts. Joe, how are we doing this morning?
Great, Rob. It's been a fantastic weekend as we're rolling off of homecoming and Hall of Fame. End of the regular season for a lot of the fall teams. We're now into the tournament mode. This is the last week, and for the majority, a couple weeks, 2 weeks ago for football in the regular season, into the grading period this week, and get a little fall break for the students, which is always nice. And I just can't believe how fast it's going. It's amazing to me.
Hall of Fame and homecoming went well this weekend.
Hall of Fame and homecoming were fantastic. Yeah, what a great weekend for everybody.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, let's jump into it. Looks like in water polo, looks like Milford had the Milford Cup this past weekend, and then we start getting ready for a tournament up at Upper Arlington. How did everything go out at Milford this past weekend?
I think the boys saw what they kind of needed to see. The bus was back here relatively quickly on Saturday. I apologize, on Saturday. So I didn't see the Saturday result, but there was a side of me that wanted to say the fellas wanted to get in that water, play their match, and get back here because they had a dance that night to get ready for. And from all the social media pictures I saw, our boys water polo team was in full force at the homecoming dance. So I think, it's that time of year, like we just said, that we're winding it down. And their mindset now is going to be into this regional, which will be in Upper Arlington for the boys. And, of course, the girls we will host here at Princeton.
Right.
And what we need to do to move into state for the following week. So 21st, we gear it up for the region. And then the next week, I believe the 24th or 25th, 26th, somewhere in there is state. So it's been a great season. We had a student leadership meeting yesterday, and Chris Cunningham and Landon Zeller, our assistant AD, and Landon Zellers, our cheer coach, he was kind of reflecting with me a little bit because a couple of the water polo players are a part of that group. And it was just interesting to listen to them talk about, we have 4 rookie, if you will, coaches, and just how different they are from the perspective of someone who had done it for 30 plus years, and just how different it is. It's not a good thing or a bad thing. It's just how different the nuances are from a relatability, from a consistency, from just how you operate and manage a program. So, I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do in the next 2 weeks. They get a little week reprieve here, just some practice, and then tune it up and ready to go.
It's interesting to take that a little bit. I know when the Bengals hired Zach Taylor, and Mike Brown said, "My goodness, it's such a change how these younger coaches are doing things from their practice plan on things they're doing from the way we've always done it." So it can certainly be done a different way. Doesn't and be good or bad. It's just at all levels that can happen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I agree with that. It doesn't matter which whenever you're starting out in the coaching, you have to find the way that you want to do it. Athletic directing is the same way. You've got to find your path. I do it a lot different than a lot of people do, and it's not good. It's not bad. It's just we all have our mode of operation and our mindset. And it's your way. And at the end, you got to try to find the outcome.
Yeah, it's awesome. Let's switch. Let's go inside girls volleyball. Looks like tonight they travel to Trotwood and then host Wilmington on Wednesday. Thursday travel to Mason, and that'll end their regular season. And then tournament starts. So they're winding it down.
Yeah. We got 3 good ones this week. Opportunity to get 2 non-conference, out of the way, and then hit a really, really tough Mason match, which I think to end the regular season can be really good for our volleyball team because Mason's going to give us that test we need.
Right.
We had a really good draw yesterday. The girls will travel next Tuesday to Loveland, and they'll take on Middletown.
Okay.
And that should be a really good match for our kids, but it should be a test for them to kind of get them moving. And we advance, and we'll play, I think it's Ursuline in the second match, should we get past Middletown in the first. But again, what we do is we're building that bridge to get us ready for this sectional tournament. So I think Trotwood will get our girls an opportunity to get them on the floor and compete.
Right.
Nobody wants to say let's go 5, but maybe you do go 5 and try to get some rotations in there and get some, see what it's like. And then having Wilmington at home, that's a good ending home match for our girls. And then gear right in Thursday night to to Mason, and I'm going to head over there Thursday and watch that match and watch them go at it a little bit. And like I said, maybe we can get that to stretch out a little bit, because I think our girls need that.
Yeah, that sounds great. It's a good barometer ending with Mason. See where you are, get ready for Middletown, who they've already seen. So that always helps starting the tournament play. So best of luck to them. Let's switch over to girls tennis. I know that they're in. If the season's still going, just a little update on girls tennis, because I know they're in tournament play, Joe.
Yeah, we closed it out last week at sectionals. We didn't get anybody through, but Coach Bernie did an amazing job with the girls and hanging them in there, and they battled all the way to the end. Tennis is pretty deep in Southwest Ohio. People don't know that, and Division I tennis in Southwest Ohio is really deep, and the GMC conference is extremely deep in Southwest Ohio with tennis, in particular Mason and Sycamore. Right. And you get to those early rounds and those early matches, and you get through, but it really starts to get strong. And I do believe that we'll see a state champion come out of the Southwest this year in Division I. I just feel that good about the tennis programs that we're looking at, in particular Mason and Sycamore. Yeah, and hats off to them, but it's a testament to our league.
Yeah, no question. Going to the pitch, let's go girls soccer first. Let's see, traveling to Hamilton tonight for a GMC match, and then Thursday hosting Mason to wrap up the regular season. And then I know the draw was set and off to the tournament.
Yeah, we had to move the Hamilton match to tonight due to last week. They had their homecoming parade on Thursday night, and so we had to readjust some things. And we got Hamilton tonight for girls varsity, give us a little bit of momentum going, and then they'll bring Mason over here Thursday night and have a solid match there. And then Monday night they open sectional play with Ursula in the sectional tournament. So again, it's a chance for them. From on paper, it's about even. I think we were the 27 seed, they were the 25 seed, something to that effect. On paper, it should be a really, really good match. You take the names off of it and just put the girls out there and let's see where it goes. So
yeah, it's great. And then on the boys' side, they will host the Firebirds from Lakota West on Tuesday, and then wrap up GMC play at Mason on Thursday. So 2 tough tests for the boys soccer team before.
Yeah, very tough test. We had to add. We were supposed to play Kings Tuesday night for a good non-league closeout, but we had weather a couple weeks ago, and we weren't able to get the varsity match with Lakota West in. So Lakota West will come back down here Tuesday night. We're going to finish out with a varsity match there, and then like Thursday with our girls volleyball team being at Mason, I'll get a chance to watch our boys soccer match as well. I'll jump in between soccer and volleyball that night. And Coach Hyatt, our head coach, being his first year and a complete rookie, he was actually here in the office doing the seed meeting yesterday because he had never done it. He had no idea what to do or what process to go. But we're going to host LaSalle next week in our opening sectional match, and he just was all giddy. Like, he was just super excited about how the seed fell and where people went and who we avoid. And, it's like that Christmas morning opening the present, if you will, because he's like, man, we can grab these 2 matches, and then here we'll see Moeller again, and we can go get Moeller. And he just was extremely excited about what he saw. And it's been a great run for our boys soccer team. And so really proud of the progress that we've made there.
Well, I like that LaSalle matchup, because I've done a few of their games, and I think that matches up well. That's certainly a match you guys can win.
Yeah, I think so. I agree with you.
Yeah, that's great. Let's hit both boys and girls golf. I know that they're in tournament play, and just kind of wrap that up for the golf season. I know it went well, and there was improvement from beginning to end.
There was, the boys went last week to sectionals, and we, our Coach Pat Suker, he told the kids he really did believe that 80 would get you out. And, 80 is a number that those kids can shoot out there at Miami Whitewater. Miami Whitewater, if we talked a few weeks ago, was set up just like the best of the West. I mean, the pins were moved in a little bit of position, but the tee markers were essentially in the exact same spots. They had adjusted a few of the holes. But, they made the course extremely long, which you kind of see anyway at the end. And that played really well for the kids. But I think nerves took a hold of them, and they did not attest to that number. But when you look at, I think it was two kids from St. X that shot 64 and 65 respectfully. You know, we've got some ground to make up. But all in all, from a boys golf program, we've improved, I think, in a total of like 135 strokes from last year to this year.
Outstanding.
We have a young team. We only have one senior. We've got an opportunity with our group of sophomores really to make some noise. And so the next few years are going to be really good for boys golf. Girls golf, same scenario, but it's a numbers game for us. We had two seniors out of 5 girls that played this year, and we're really trying to get that program off the ground. We need more girls to get interested in the sport. Mm-hmm. We elected not to participate in the sectional tournament just simply because of the numbers that we had. Sure. And they came off of 2 solid days of being out of class for the GMC tournament, which they did extremely well for them and in a very tough environment. And then came back here, and we just wrapped up the season with Lakota West in a dual match, and then they moved forward into the next adventure. But really proud of both Coach Herb and Coach Suker and what they did this year, keeping the boys and girls golf programs moving.
Well, keep their clubs in the hands and just keep playing and getting better, because that's that's all you can do there. Well, best of luck to all them. Let's switch over to football. 1 week at a time, one game at a time. 41-15 victory over the Middies Friday night. Hey, they took care of business. You know, it was a team they should beat. They did beat, and I thought they looked a lot crisper Friday night. That things were clicking, and it was a good win for the Vikings.
Yeah, real good win. Nice to see them come out with a little bit more intensity than what they normally have this year. Again, kind of that going through the motions in the beginning, then all of a sudden they go in and readjust and come back out and play Princeton football in the second half. And
no question,
you know, the staff did a really good job of keeping them engaged. I mentioned to Coach Parker because we had all the distractions last week.
Yes.
You know, between the homecoming parade, between the pep rally, between who's on the court, who's not on the court, who's going to the dance, who's not. How many signs can you make asking somebody to go to the dance with you? You know, he had all those environments and distractions going through, but they stayed very focused. And we had a ton of stuff going on here between Hall of Fame, all the class reunions. I mean, it was amazing to see all the people that came back, and they just loved that homecoming weekend. We had Houday the Bengal here. Running around. I mean, he was amazing. He was running around the field and making people excited. But the clock hits 0, and here's the band lined up. Middletown came out, and they're over on the sideline. And the officials are asking me, they're like, "Joe, is your team coming?" And I'm like, "Why? I don't know what Coach Parker's doing," you know. And so I asked him after the game, like, did you do that intentional? Like, was this a psychological move for what you were trying to do? And he's like, "Well, I didn't even realize that. I thought we still had time on the clock." And I'm like, that was the best psychological move you ever made, because they came out and it was just like this huge opening. It was like, it's okay, we're fine. And so they just came out and geared it. Now here we go, 8-0, and you know, people are going to start talking about 8-0, and people are going to start talking about 9-0. But Coach and his team, they aren't. Right. They're talking about them. They're talking about what they have to do. 1 week at a time, one game at a time. I am extremely nervous about going to Coleraine. I'm extremely nervous because everyone's going to keep talking about 8-0. People are going to keep talking about 9-0. And I don't want that to hit the kids. And you and I were talking just before we started the show about the potential of it actually being fall weather. Mm-hmm. We want it to be cold. Let's let it get cold, but let's keep that rain away.
Right. Yeah, well, best of luck. Best of luck at Coleraine, because that's a big rivalry game, and take care of business. On paper, it should be a good game for the Vikings, but that's why you play the game.
Absolutely.
So let's wrap up this week's show with cross country. Looks like the GMC Championships this coming Saturday, and then they roll into tournament play.
Yeah, absolutely. GMC's this Saturday morning. It's going to be great running weather. You know, that damp, cold air, that wet ground. You know, let them get out there and run in it. Maybe have to get a little higher spike or something on their shoe. But again, the course is going to be set up. Jill Myring and her staff at Lakota East, they prep that facility for us and run that for us for the GMC Championships. But then they also turn around and support us for the district championships in the Southwest. And so I know Voice of America Park is going to be in pristine shape and ready to go, and it's going to be ideal conditions for us. We're really looking for some strong numbers, and we're looking for our kids to be ready. Leading in again, and we'll have that fall break. Thursday's the last day of school. Friday, the kids can get some really good rest, come in and do their Friday training, and then gear up and be ready to go for Saturday. Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. Well, Joe, thanks for these 8 shows. It's been a great fall season. I think we've done a super job communicating all things Princeton Vikings through all your fans. The numbers have been great, and I'm glad we started doing these again. And I think tentatively we'll start for the winter on December 4th, and we'll do 8 shows in the winter to get all the fans up to date with everything going on with the Vikings in the winter. But again, thank you, Joe. They've been great shows.
Rob, really looking forward to it. They have been great shows. It's been a great fall, and can't wait to start talking to you in the winter.
Sounds great. Have a great week, Joe. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. Bye.